So
I mean,
do you
even if
think
you've got,
along those lines? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, even if you've got like 100,000 viewers a month, if you can get 20% of them to pay you $1 a month, that's that's $20,000. That's a lot of money per month coming in.
Right.
So I'd say to content creators, just don't be afraid to ask for money in exchange for something good, in exchange for a good experience. I'd imagine a good number of people take that up to make it worthwhile. Obviously not the majority, but a very small minority. The same happens on mobile gaming. Like freemium games, you always talk about the big whales that are funding everything, and then you've got 95% of the users who don't make any money. You don't make any money off. It's mainly like the top 5-10%. Do you make the money off on these free-to-play games? So yeah, I'd certainly encourage that model for content creators, just to explore it at least.
Well, there's a lot more opportunities open today than I think in the past, right? I mean, there's a lot of small independent content creators are doing Patreon campaigns, and they're creating their own custom courses, or they're creating books, or they're creating they're coming up with solutions that meet the needs of their audience, and then trying to make that as their supporting revenue. And that seems to me make a lot of sense.
Yeah. That's the best thing about the internet today. Anyone can publish anything, be it an app, music, a book, a YouTube video, and start making money off of it. As long as there's an audience for it and you market it to that audience, you're doing well.
So I was going to ask this. I'm sorry. I was going to ask this of the panel. Do you guys think that content creators, do you think it's I'm going to use air quotes here, a right for them to display ads? I mean, is it sort of like a basic human right? I mean, do they have?
No, definitely not that.
And I asked that question because it seems like there's almost this air of we call it not where they use it all the time to describe millennials with entitlement, where you've created content, so therefore you should get paid.
Well, okay. I mean, sure. I feel for people who create content who want to get paid, but they're not entitled to put anything that they want and force me to watch advertisements. I mean, I see what you're saying. So I've created content. I've gone through a lot of effort. And I'm telling you that the deal is you can see my content, but you got to watch my ads. That's not quite entitlement. So I guess when I hear the word entitlement, suddenly my negative meter goes, nope, pegs right out and goes, hell no, heck no. But if you dial it back and we don't use words like entitlement, I wouldn't say they're entitled. There is some kind of contract there, though, like a social contract. It's just not that strong. So, but I wanted to say is this still does not hurt these people, because that's my sense here is if I'm not going to pay any attention to your ads in the first place, then you aren't going to make any money from me, period. So if there's a way where the advertiser doesn't have to send the content and they don't have to pay somebody who didn't. I mean, it's good for the advertisers for sure. It seems to me to block ads for people who don't want to buy your stuff anyways. And then it also seems like it would. And this is kind of stretching, but I think it's good for the people who are trying to make money off of advertisements, because they don't just want to make money; they want to have happy people. I'd rather have all my users enjoy my website rather than have like a bunch of advertisements on my site and then have people say, oh, there's too many advertisements on this site. This site sucks.
To put it maybe in a different way that I've heard it said before, is they're stepping over dollars to pick up nickels. Is that, you think that's true? That there's a better user experience to have, and if they could do that, they could have a tighter, more diligent audience, and then make more money that way? Anybody?
All I can say is I think that the user experience part you put on the end there is the important part. If
Do
you
you
have a
know
good
what's
experience.
more annoying than regular ads
Say
on a
again?
website? Do you know what's more annoying for a user than a regular ads on a website?
What's that?
It's when you go on a website, a new website you've never been on before. You try to read an article, and there's a splash screen blocking everything, trying, hey, sign up for our website if you want to continue reading, or something stupid like that. This is so annoying. I would love to have a blocker for that.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a feature for 2.0.
Yeah.
Or
I think
whatever version you remember you're at.
if someone was that analogy, it says if somebody approached you in the bar and said, "Hey, would you like to get married?" You pretty much your reaction is no.
Right.
Right? Those things happen slowly over time.
So you hang out in a lot of bars, Charles?
Not here lately, but
He's already married.
I do watch a lot of television. All right. Well, I think we can all agree that a better experience needs to be had, and I think that everybody can probably benefit from it. So let's talk a little bit before we run out of time. Let's talk about your developer experience, Dean. Let's talk about how did you come to this point? You're like, hey, like I said before, you've created some games and stuff and some apps, and you're kind of like, I think I'll make a content blocker. How did that come about?
Well, every year at WWDC, when Apple have their developer conference, I like to watch all the videos and see what's new, see what's interesting. And one of the videos was on content blocking. And I thought, well, I'll give this a go. So I made a little, very simple app, and I blogged about it. It basically blocks all the adverts on one web page. I targeted it specifically for one web page. It took about an hour to make after watching this video. And the page load time dropped from 11 seconds down to 2 seconds. And that was a big jump. I thought, that can't be right. So I cleared my cache, tested again, cleared it again, tested again. I was like, wow. So I wrote up a blog post, and it got spread around virally, and I got a lot of page views out of it. And then I thought, you know what, this might be, I should turn this into a product. There's demand. There's a lot of people interested in it, a lot of people talking about it online. So a few months later, I had a full working product. I blogged about it again, done the exact same blog post pretty much, but with 10 websites tested, and also had a little sign up link at the bottom. If you're interested, if you want to try and beta test it, put your name down, or and also I'll email you once it's released, so you can try it out. And I thought I'd get a few hundred people at most. I ended up with 12,000 people, and that gave me like a good platform to launch the app on. I could email 12,000 people, say the app is ready, go download it, tell your friends, try this survey I've got.
So you come up with this sort of MVP, this sort of minimal viable product that you could have just stopped there, right? You could have just said, hey, my experience is better, yay me, all right? But you decided then to go out. I think this is interesting, and do a kind of gauge other people's interests to see if it was even worth doing. Was that your intent? Is to see, like, should I even spend the time?
Yeah, just see if I can get a similar amount of page views as before. Actually got spread around a lot more, so I end up with a lot of page views. How many of them people will want to know about when it's released? So, like I said, I put a little email form up. It kept going up and up and up, and the more it kept going up, I thought I'm going to start paying for MailChimp, because it's like 2,000 limit for free. 2,000 free emails you can send out a month, and this is going up to like 12,000. So it cost me about $110 to send out to 12,000 people, about 11,800 it was in total. And I've done an interesting thing, just as an experiment. When you install an ad blocker, you get a big performance gain, like I've said before, and it's something that has potential to grow virally. So it's something you tell your friend, look at this, I've just downloaded, it makes my phone X times faster. So I decided to give it away for free for the first 12 hours, and just emailed out to the people on my mailing list. And I was very surprised it got 100,000 downloads during that time, and they spread it around. But I also put a little donation link in there saying, if you want to, if you feel guilty for not paying, feel free to donate some money. And surprisingly, there was quite a few donations coming in, nearly $1,000 in donations out of that 100,000 downloads. Obviously, a lot